Hello there.
Hello there.
And welcome to What If Qui-Gon Didn't Die? My name's Jamie.
And my name is Shaun.
And we love talking about Star Wars.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeedy.
Absolutely.
It's been a fun-filled year, isn't it, for Star Wars?
Yes, it has.
We've had Acolyte, which was massively talked about. Whether or not it was a bit of a flop, that's up to you. We really liked it.
Yeah.
And actually, nothing like we thought it would be.
No.
Like, all of our predictions were wrong.
Yeah.
That's great. Visions 2 come out. Now, I've seen all of them.
Oh, you've watched them, have you?
Watched them all.
Good.
I liked them.
Good.
Yeah, they were pretty good. Some ideas in there that we'll talk about in another episode.
Well, I will. We have obviously talked about Visions
Before Series 1.
Last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, based on your recommendation and the fact that they were pretty short, at some point I will watch through them and we'll
talk about number 2.
Yeah, we'll discuss, compare and contrast.
Compare and contrast Visions 2.
Yes.
What else have we had? We've had... Well, we got...
I don't think
There's actually nothing else which has come out, actually.
No, and I think...
Oh, Tales of the Empire.
Right, yes.
That come out.
Yeah.
That's like a mini little Clone Wars era. And Bad Batch Series 3.
Of course, you Bad
finished.
Batch. Yeah.
Bad Batch Series 3. So it's actually been quite a lot of Star Wars getting sort of pushed in our senses this year. That's really good, though. But we're here to talk about the...
Upcoming...
In December.
In December, yeah. Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, so the trailer for this come out in May. So
Yeah.
we're a bit beyond the times in doing an episode about it. However, we've had other things to talk about.
We've had the Acolyte going on.
And all that sort of mumbo-jumbo. So we've both seen the trailer. And we're both just sort of going to have a little chat about it.
Yeah. So, for those of you who haven't seen or heard anything about Skeleton Crew, I'm just going to give you a short synopsis.
Yeah, so settle down. It's story time with Papa Jimbo.
Get your best reading voice on. Please don't fall asleep. So, Star Wars Skeleton Crew. The series follows the journey of 4 children who make a mysterious discovery on their seemingly safe home planet. This discovery leads them to get lost in a strange and dangerous galaxy. As they navigate through various challenges and encounters with strange aliens in dangerous places, their primary goal is to find their way back home.
Wonderfully read.
And it's a nice, easy to follow story.
Yeah, this is it. Kids go on an adventure, find something. Oh, a bit of drama. Then they got to get back home. I really like this, and it's kind of classic Power Ranger film. In it though.
Yes, it is. Before we get into it, the first impressions, and I think a lot of people will take this as their first impression, is this is going to be a series for kids.
Yes, but we do not think this.
No, well, we do and we don't.
Yeah.
So, I read that Kathleen Kennedy, who is a major player in the Star Wars universe, has likened it to the films of Amblin Entertainment, aka Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
So this is being described as, like those films, it's a story about kids with kids. It's not necessarily for kids.
This is it, yeah.
So, like, you might watch E.T.
I was going to mention E.T.
E.T.'s about kids riding BMXs set in the 80s. Classic stuff. And we'll get onto other comparisons as well. But adults love that film.
Yeah, and actually the things that happen in the film, as an adult, when you watch it, means different to when you watch it as a kid.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, for example, E.T., a kid would go, oh, the alien's not very well. Oh, you know, why is he like that? Why is the government being horrible? But as an adult, you go, yeah, typical, you know, government-esque. That's exactly what would happen, you know. Oh, that's actually pretty sweet. Or look at the growth of this kid. It's actually quite emotional.
Yeah.
You're seeing a young person put themselves out there more than we probably ever would.
Yeah.
in our lifetimes at that age anyway.
Which is just, it's just really, it's cool to watch that and understand that from both sides. Something else that we sort of get the feeling of is films like The Goonies.
We said about that, didn't we, before?
It's an adventure film for kids.
Yeah, but as an adult, I love watching The Goonies.
And it's still
it's
great.
classico, mate.
And but it also it's like it brings nostalgia, doesn't it? Like you watch it and you think, I love this film growing up, and all I wanted to do was go on adventures.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Stand By Me, I think.
Stand By Me, yeah. Stand By Me. That's the one I was thinking of. And I couldn't bring the name out.
I can always remember them going in the water and getting leeches.
Yeah.
But again, just young lads on an adventure.
Yeah.
And more recently, probably the most recent comparison we might have would be Stranger Things.
Yeah, by far. The biggest thing to take the world by storm that isn't Game of Thrones related. Yeah. And that's actually quite a good point there, because of Stranger Things, which is obviously, like, they've obviously used them old films we're talking about as reference points.
Absolutely.
So, like, maybe this is going to use stuff from that about character growth to get to that sort of, even though we are, as adults, are watching child actors, like, it may be that we enjoy it for what it is more because of the character growth of these youngsters. Stranger Things is a great one, actually, because they start pretty young in Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, I think the only thing that sets it is likely to set it apart, we don't know for sure because it's not out yet, is Stranger Things is definitely aimed at a more mature audience.
Yes, definitely. And Star Wars never is.
Not normally.
Not really. I mean, you can watch it.
Despite the fact that lots of people get their arms cut off.
And people die and all of these bad things happen.
It's still generally aimed at all audiences.
That's it, yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi dies. Does he actually get sliced? No, he just vanishes into thin air. Which is easy watching for a younger audience as well. And it's easy for the adults to explain, oh yeah, he has died, but
the Force has taken him.
He's magicked himself away.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, that sort of Star Wars-y, I can watch it as an adult and enjoy it, but when my niece is old enough to understand and I force her to watch all of them in order, like, she will enjoy it for what it is from her perspective.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, about sort of this. But I also want people, and I hope that it doesn't happen, that they judge it before it comes out because they judge The Acolyte harshly.
And we saw this firsthand with comments on the internet, which is obviously a source of
absolute truth and knowledge.
Yeah, and people love to agree with each other on there for some reason. They like to argue, but if something's bad, people love to club together and go,
jump
this is
on
awful.
that wagon, don't they? And just be like, oh yeah.
Because if you like something that somebody else doesn't like, well, then you must be stupid.
Yeah, you must be an alien.
Smooth brain.
Yeah.
So we watched the trailer, and we both really enjoyed the look of it.
Yeah, I love the look of it, the aesthetic of it.
Yeah,
it's great.
It opens up and they're in school, they're learning stuff in a classroom. This is stuff that we don't normally see. This is set from the point of view of these kids,
which aren't Jedi, by the way.
No,
so they're not. They're not in the temple. Well, we don't know that they are.
That we don't know for sure. We assume that they aren't.
But we're not on Coruscant, which is actually a nice breath of fresh air. Do you know what I mean?
Probably literally as well.
Yeah, literally. And it looks, and you said this to me, it looks almost post-war America, sort of
Americana,
trying to build up that, perfect life again, sort of almost Fallout before the nukes fall. Beetlejuice-esque.
Edward Scissorhands.
Nice big houses, lawns. There's a hover car there.
Truman Show. To a degree.
Yeah.
Everybody moves at the same time. Everybody leaves for work at the same time, and they come back and press trousers and tank tops.
Yeah. But yeah, so the aesthetic of it looks really nice, and I love the fact that they've gone away from dusty, almost Western-esque towns, Coruscant, and whatever random little things they can find and put in there. This will be a nice change of pace.
It's a gentrified planet, isn't it?
Yeah. It's Earth, but with a Star Warsy twist.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be quite a nice thing to see.
Yeah.
For the start.
Yeah.
Because
it's obvious from the trailer they go into space and it's...
Yeah, they end up somewhere they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And then they have to find their way home.
Yeah. But I like that because it sets the scene nicely, and it makes you realise, and I think it'll make you realise just how innocent these kids are.
Yeah.
But then I bet the second they are whipped off into space and they realise just how vast it is, like not every child really is going to be like, oh wow, space.
No.
They're going to have like a panic attack because there is nothing. Nothing. So this is the thing about Star Wars though, because everybody loves.
That said, we think that because we don't go into space. There's only a handful of people have ever been in space.
Yeah.
So the idea of getting up there is mind blowing because there's nothing.
Yeah.
We see the moon and it's hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. These kids learn about space travel. They've probably been in flying cars and whatever.
Yeah, that school is probably flying school, maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be.
Yeah, so getting into space is probably like, it's
second nature.
It's like going on the motorway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or getting in an aeroplane to go to another country. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, that's probably a side.
But it'll be interesting to see how they write that though, because both of our points could come across. There might be one kid who has an existential crisis because they're like there's nothing, and then the other kids might be really excited. If
you look at those other series and films that we talk about, there's always the nerdy kid.
Yeah.
There's always like each character has got their own very distinct personality traits. Yeah. And so you'd always have the scaredy cat.
Yeah. You'd always have the nerd scaredy cat.
Yeah. You'd have the one that was just like, let's go.
Yeah, but that'll be the young girl.
Yeah.
Because she's going to obviously be the boss.
After a minute, once she's allowed the other bigger boys to pretend that they're in charge.
Yeah, then you start to realise that she's in charge. So you've got the one in charge, the nerd, the what I call the tank, which is basically just a bag carrier.
Yeah.
And then you've got like the Spec Ops assassin, which will be the one that touches all the buttons he shouldn't have, but he's always able to dodge mischief.
Yeah.
So a bit like that. It's just... But this is what I say about Power Rangers as well, because in the trailer they go off on an adventure and they're like, oh, there's I think it's an old Jedi temple, which is quite good, because what that's done is it's based after Episode 6.
Yeah.
So even though the Jedi are gone, ish, because obviously
in a grand sense,
in a grand sense, there's only Luke and Leia.
Yeah.
And and I know Ahsoka's running around and Grogu, blah blah blah. However, like nobody really knows that.
No.
Nobody seems to know that Ahsoka Tano's a real thing.
But don't you think it's interesting that these kids, aged whatever they are, maybe 10, can see a temple and go, oh, looks like a Jedi temple.
Yeah.
How do they know?
Yeah. How do they know it's a Jedi temple?
Is it something they get taught at school?
This is the point I was going to get to.
Yeah.
So even though there's not that many Jedi around, somewhere down the line, probably the nerdy member of the party, he's read a book and he goes, oh, Jedi temple, that.
Yeah.
Could be a Sith temple. I mean, we don't know from the trailer, but Sith or Jedi temple, the fact that they know, even though it's based after Episode 6, means that this planet maybe had quite a large Jedi sort of influence.
Yeah, must have done. If it's based after Episode 6, there's every chance these kids were born after the defeat of Palpatine.
Yeah.
Which means that even in the years previous, so the entirety of Luke's life, there'd been no Jedi, more or less, to speak of.
Yeah.
Because they were supposedly eradicated.
But this would be history, wouldn't it? What have we got today? Well, you've got double history. Oh, man. this is the history of what happened to
this
the
could
Empire and Palpatine.
RE.
Yeah, this is what happens when you mess with God. All right, praise Anakin, Lord Saviour, all of that. But this is the thing, and maybe if they touch on this, I'll be really happy if they give us a bit more of the. What did you learn about in school?
Yeah.
What are these random kids? Because you don't see nobody do maths. Like how they count credits, I don't know. Because I've never seen Han Solo's pocket jingling with coins and he goes, oh, I've got 50 coins in there.
No.
What's credits? Like, where do they store them? Do you know what I mean? But this is the thing, like seeing the school. But this is where some of the character growth will come from, because we see it, don't we? That sort of Goonies, Stranger Things, like stuff happens at school and you get to see how the characters react because of situations schools can throw.
The bully turns up.
Somebody's got water on their trousers and everybody's laughing at them.
Yeah.
The teacher's mean or the teacher's really nice, and you see how their characters grow in an environment.
Yeah, which character wants to run away, which one wants to stand and fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then when we get to outside of school and they say find this said Jedi temple, you've already got that right. This one's going to be the one to press the button.
Yeah.
And this one's going to stand back and be a bit scared because we've already had that character growth at Star Wars school. But I'd love it if it was a flying class or but, because they could also do a bit Harry Potter. Episode 1 and 2 is like Harry Potter films. Do you know what I mean? And then episode 3 is when they actually go off. I'd be more than happy with that.
Yeah.
Just seeing that side of Star Wars where somebody's gone, well, Luke was dumb because he was given to Owen as a babe, and it's not like Owen could afford a teacher or anything like that.
This is true.
So he literally only learnt to speak, walk, and work with droids, but then he could also fly. So he had to have some brains to fly a ship, but he never went to school.
Yeah, I think flying the ships are probably quite easy. Everybody's in a speeder, right?
There's loads of buttons everywhere, but it looks like they only press 3 and then the ship's ready to go.
Yeah.
So then, like 50,000 other buttons are just for show, isn't they?
Yeah.
Maybe one thing will happen, and you're like, oh, this one button I've never had to press. I need to press that right this minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, like these kids are getting an education. They know what the Jedi are or what they were.
Yeah.
And then they go and find this thing. The temple might teleport them off world, or maybe they find something and then an adult character's brought in. Then maybe they find a Jedi holocron, right?
Maybe.
And that's when the delightful face of Jude Law shows up, and he's like, "Kiss the holocron, boys." That's actually for me. You don't know if he's a good or a bad guy because Jude Law can play both really well.
He does, yeah. And he really does.
And he can play a really good bad guy as well. And then maybe the adults take the kids away, and then you're going, oh no, horrible adults. Oh, grr. but then the kiddies have got to meet their saviour and somebody to look up to.
Well, yeah.
And who do they meet? Probably an old Jedi, maybe. Maybe they run into Mando.
Yeah.
Maybe they run into, Luke, because at that point he started up his Jedi school, isn't he?
He has, yeah.
So maybe they run into Luke somewhere. Maybe he gives them a bit of guidance, and his little CGI young double actor comes in again. That's pretty cool.
It'd be interesting because they love a little cameo.
They do
in all the series.
Yeah, just to give us a little bit of a. Ooh.
Oh yeah, by the way, these characters cross over at some point, but stay tuned because there could be more. It could be interesting.
Yeah.
Or maybe you'll never see them again.
Yeah.
But I've not looked into the cast list. I've not looked into rumours about this or anything like that.
Yeah, there's not much online. So this, what we're talking about now is just our little sort of what we think about it. Like
first impression.
Yeah, because I did scour an internet page, but everybody's just saying the same Wikipedia blurb.
Yeah.
Smack, which obviously Disney's put out there. But yeah, love it. But do you know what else I like?
Go on.
They're riding the bike with the little sidecar.
Yeah.
I like it because it's not a Vespa thing.
No.
From Book of Boba. Now, a lot of people liked them Vespas.
Yeah.
But personally, for me, they just weren't Star Warsy.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I get why people liked them, But for me, I was like, but everything's supposed to be speedery and look bad, even though the technology is amazing. It's supposed to look bad. But this bike in this trailer looked the part, even though it was like a Wallace and Gromit sidecar job. But how cool is that, though?
Yeah.
So these are, like, don't get me wrong, the Vespa idea was cool. I just wish they weren't so...
I quite like the gang with the Vespers themselves.
Yeah.
I quite like those.
I just wish they were beaten up a bit more.
I quite like they were all like metal arms and stuff, and they were
modded up.
They were very cyberpunk, weren't they?
Yeah. But, you know, maybe they'll take a sort of thing from that. Maybe we'll see a little bit more if they stay on this planet, because it is a bit more, it looks more sort of advanced. Maybe there are people with, you know, modded bodies.
Yeah.
Living with aliens. It's not just humans everywhere and one random token alien.
Yeah.
It's aliens and humans living together. You know, is it idyllic? Maybe there's a bigger thing at play, and maybe that planet in the trailer looks really nice and clean and hopeful.
But it's got a dark
secret, and maybe when the kids obviously finish their journey and go back, it's a bit like Final Fantasy, isn't it? You go back to where you start, and now you're level 99, you've got to fight the big boss. And where's the biggest boss ever? Back at hometown.
Yeah.
And it's always the way.
But also very Stranger Things.
Yeah.
It's just right underneath you.
The whole time.
In the town, that's where the lab is.
Yeah, the whole time.
Yes. I'm actually quite excited for this.
Yeah, I am.
And I didn't think I would be as excited as I am.
But the trailer's good, and we actually both haven't seen the trailer properly till tonight.
No.
I haven't actually sat down and watched it.
I've seen little bits and pieces here and there, but we wanted to, you know, we know it's coming up, so we thought we'll have a little look and we'll see what we think. And I haven't heard anybody say anything bad. I haven't heard any negative kind of description of it.
Yeah.
But that sounds like a good thing. But the haters haven't come out yet, and
this is it.
Every single thing that comes out gets its haters.
Oh yeah, you can't stop it. You can't stop it.
Thankfully, you know, I don't think that we are particularly. There's not much out there that we don't like. There's elements of everything, I suppose.
Yeah, you listen to our chinwag, I can find stuff to gripe about. But it doesn't mean that I'm necessarily a grumpy old man who doesn't like stuff. It's just, these are just things that are funny for me to moan about.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. December 4th.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they'll change the title screen font to make it a bit more adulty. It looks very bland at the moment.
Yeah,
it's just a random thing I was thinking about. But then, did they change the Acolyte or not?
I don't think they'll change it. I think it sort of is. It is what it is, and you know, you only see the title for a few moments, and that's it.
This is true. I just thought it was a little bit, but then again, it is younger. Oh, I've just had an idea.
Go on.
Skeleton Crew. Why is it called that? Because the ship they end up on in space is manned by a
skeleton?
Skeleton Crew.
Oh, okay.
Which will probably be the gorgeous face of Jude Law and his other
and a droid
or the other two actors. And they are the Skeleton Crew, and maybe they're the smallest little band of rebels you've ever seen in your life. Maybe they're rebels.
The other thing, so talking about the title quickly, when you see stuff like the Goonies, there's always somewhere there's a skeleton.
Yeah.
They always find a skeleton somewhere. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, people have died and
there's always a dead person, and now they're just a skeleton. What if their nickname for themselves are the Skeleton Crew because they go out and they find
skeletons
on adventures? Oh, we found a dead person. Oh, there was a skeleton.
Yeah.
Oh, we're the Skeleton Crew.
Maybe. Or maybe they're just like the Ghost Squad from Rebels. Maybe that is just their Rebel squad name. Because, you know, maybe we'll see CGI Leia and it will be like, oh, Skeleton Crew, what are you up to? We've just picked up 4 nippers. Don't know how they got here. Why, where were they? We were in a Jedi temple, miss. Oh, right. Beep, beep, beep. I've rung Luke. Do you know what I mean? But there's so many avenues, and because the trailer's done so well that we don't actually know what's going on.
It's really given very little away.
but actually giving us a lot visually to go, that looks cool.
Yeah.
At the same time, my mind's racing with little theories, but I mean, it's all bonkers because I had theories about the Acolyte and they were all wrong.
Massively.
All wrong.
But that's part of the fun, isn't it? That's what we enjoy.
Yeah.
We enjoy sort of getting things massively wrong.
Oh, I wonder if we'll see some lightsabers and stuff.
I would think. I think we'll see. We've see the Force.
We've got to have a little taste.
Yeah, we see the Force in the trailer.
We do.
So there must be at some point, even if it's just a defensive move.
Yeah, just one little.
Yeah, perhaps we'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We'll
There's a lot of potential.
Yeah, it's got potential. Let's wait and see. And then at Christmas, we'll probably talk about this.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because it'll be the one thing on the go then, won't it?
Yeah.
I wonder if one of the kids are force sensitive. This is the thing. My brain is racing now.
It's flowing, isn't it?
It's flowing.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Because they could see Kane and Jarrus live action. Kane and Jarrus.
Dear listener, while Sean's off on his.
Yeah. Honestly, they could imagine these kids meeting Chopper and he smacks them around the head. Because I would love a scene like that. They're just gobbing off a little bit. Chopper's out. There you go. Go on, Chopper.
Go on, Chop.
Oh, right. I've got to stop because yeah.
So, dear listener, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
We'd love to hear your theories, your ideas. What do you think is going to happen outside of what we know for sure?
Yeah, definitely. Get in touch. We want to hear your theories. We want to hear your thoughts on it. If you've watched the trailer, what you think about it. I don't want to hear your gripes about the Acolyte if you've got them. But if you're worried that you didn't like the Acolyte and you're not going to like this, then maybe let us know that. But I don't want to hear just a rant about the Acolyte. However, please get in touch. You can get to us on DMs, or when I put the reel out for this episode, comment on the reel, because then I'll read it almost straight away. And that is at WIQGDD on the Instagram. The reel will be on there. The story will be on there to take you to it. Find this episode's reel. And then, give us a comment or even just DM us with your own little ideas on the Skeleton Crew. And if you want to email us,
you can do that by emailing wiqgdd@gmail.com.
Nice and easy.
And we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely love to hear from you. And if anybody finds any little, tidbits on the internet or whatever that are factual, send them over, or put a link in the reel, or send us a DM with a link on, and we might have another little chat about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we get some more info or whatever, because it's exciting, it's fun, it's something new. Tales of the Empire sort of passed a few people by because it's not live action.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing. Some people don't watch the animated stuff, so there's a big chunk of Star Wars released material that is missed. So if you only watch the live action stuff, this is really good news for you. You're getting some more stuff coming out.
Twice in 1 year.
Twice in 1 year. Whereas people who watch both sort of genres get double that.
Yeah.
Even if they're little, like Tales of the Empire was only 6 episodes, but really looking forward to this. Please get in touch with your ideas. Love to hear from you. Yeah, great stuff.
Right, well, let's wrap it up there, shall we?
Yeah.
Pleasure talking to you as always.
A pleasure, sir. Absolute pleasure.
Look after yourself.
Be good.
And stay out of the sand.